Sox have won the top wild card position. The St. Louis Cardinals are post-season bound.
The Dodgers have punched their ticket to the postseason.
Guaranteed one playoff game right now, but that's not what they're shooting for.
Good evening. Welcome to Payoff Pitch, presented by our friends at DraftKings Sportsbook. I am Chad Millman of the Action Network. I am joined by BJ Cunningham, Sean Zerillo, Collin Wilson. We got 2 nights of wild cards, 4 of the most storied franchises in baseball history, the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and tonight, the Yankees and the Red Sox. Reminder, folks, 4 teams since the new format in 2012 from the wild card have gone on to the World Series. 3 of those teams have won the World Series. It's very possible over the next 2 nights, we are seeing the next World Series champion. Everything we're talking about, all the data, all the picks, all the research, all the analysis available for free in the award-winning Action Network app. Go download it. We're not going to waste any time. Let's get to the best bets. Again, we're covering the next 2 nights because we know the lineups for the next night for the Dodgers and the Cardinals. We know the pitchers, we know the lines, we know the odds. So we're covering 2 nights of bets in this show tonight. Collin Wilson, you're up first. Give me your best bet for anything over the next 2 nights.
Yeah, I'm going to start with tonight. I'm going to start with the Red Sox and Yankees. I'm going to go with the first 5 over 5. And you have to look at your pitchup matchup with Garrett Cole going up against Nathan Eovaldi. Garrett Cole's one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball, but his numbers have not been the same in Fenway Park this year. In 3 starts, he's gone 16 innings and allowed 11 earned runs, with his latest game just coming on September 24th. So whatever's in the air up in Boston, Garrett Cole doesn't like it at all. And if you look at Eovaldi, I mean, he's had similar issues in this series on the hill for the Red Sox against the Yankees. He was bashed for 7 earned runs on that same night on September 24th when Garrett Cole got lit up. Eovaldi only went 2.2 innings against the Yankees, and he's struggled with them all season. He had a couple quality starts down in New York, but it was just a different story. And so with these lineups, get to see these 2 pitchers again. And the issue with Eovaldi really comes the second time through the order when his K rate dips from over 11 down to about 4.5. His xFIP goes up by a half run. When lineups see him on a second time around, that's when the runs start coming into play. So I love a first 5 over 4 because the bullpens are going to come in fast. If anybody gets into trouble, there's going to be a lot of pitching and there's going to be a lot of gamesmanship in a one game wild card scenario. So I'm going to go fast with the runs here in this one.
Listen, I could make a joke about what's in the air in Boston because it's too easy and it's low hanging fruit. I don't want to insult our New England native producer, Christina Ventura, but I do want to give you, Collin, before I get to very special message about BJ, before that, do you have anything you want to say to anyone in your family now that we have a national audience watching this show?
Happy 15th birthday to my oldest son, Sean, who went to the 2015 World Series. It'll be the greatest moment of his life. As a lifelong Royals fan, we struggled together for the rest of eternity.
His greatest night of his life until tonight, eating Chipotle and watching baseball with his dad. Birthday boy, BJ Cunningham, also celebrating today. Are you going to celebrate by giving us some winners?
I sure hope so. I'm going to go to tomorrow night, actually. I'm going to go Dodgers Cardinals. I'm going to go Dodgers for the first 5 innings, spread of -1 at -110. Max Scherzer has been incredible ever since he joined the Dodgers. He has a 2.89 xFIP, 11.72 K per 9 rate, and only a 1.05 walk per 9 rate, which is just incredible for a 37-year-old. He mainly utilizes a fastball cutter slider combination, which will be a good matchup against the Cardinals, who have a negative 23.1 run value against those three pitches. And also, a lot of St. Louis's success offensively over the second half of the season has come against left-handed pitching. They're third in terms of weighted on base average against lefties, but they're 17th against righties. He'll be going against another old guy, Adam Wainwright, who actually has pitched pretty well this season. 3.84 xERA, 2.18 walk per nine rate, and opponents are only hitting 218 against him. Now, Wainwright will be able to exploit a weakness in the Dodgers lineup. He throws a curveball more often than any other pitch, and the Dodgers have a negative 5.6 run value against that pitch. But the Dodgers crush Wainwright's other two pitches of sinker and cutter, plus 33.1 run value against sinkers and a plus 5.6 run value against cutters since the trade deadline. And finally, Dodgers also crush right-handed pitching, sixth in terms of weighted on base average and weighted runs created plus. So significant advantages for Los Angeles in the starting pitching matchup and offensively. So I like the Dodgers for the first 5 innings on their spread of -1 at -110.
Listen, Sean Zerillo, it's not your birthday, but I guarantee we can celebrate the fact that before the season began, you told everybody, bet on the Astros to win the World Series. Bet on the Brewers to win the World Series. Those futures odds are looking very, very good. You told everybody, bet Vlad Guerrero to win the home run title. What does he do in the 8th inning, his last at bat of the regular season? What does he do? Ties for the home run lead for the major leagues, cashing that ticket. So for that, we will celebrate you in many, many ways. And we'll do it even more if you give us a winner for tonight.
Well, Chad, I'm going to go with the over in the AL wildcard game, over 8 between the Yankees and Red Sox. Projected this total closer to 9, so I think there's plenty of value there, up to about 8 at -115. Number actually moved against me since I bet it, and it is difficult to project how the pitching is going to shake out in these single elimination games like you get with the wildcard game, or Game 5 in a divisional series, Game 7 in a league championship series. We talked about it before the show. Does Chris Sale potentially come into a game if Eovaldi's struggling early? Who are the Dodgers going to use if Max Scherzer struggles early tomorrow with Julio Urias on 3 days rest? So it is a little difficult to project these matchups. That said, Colin talked about the first 5 over. I do think we get some early runs here. There's a lot of familiarity with these two starting pitchers. Eovaldi's faced this Yankees offense 7 times since last August. The Red Sox have faced Garrett Cole 5 times this year. Both have had pretty decent numbers. But with that familiarity, eventually you get more comfortable. And both teams actually have good offensive numbers against the pitches that these guys throw. The Red Sox in particular, right in the top 3 against sliders and changeups, top 10 against fastballs. And there's a lot of curveballs in that Yankee pen. They rank in the top 3 against curveballs as well. So Yankees bullpen has been better in the second half. Red Sox have the better offense in the second half. Split that I really like, and which gives me some value on the Red Sox here as well. Number 1 against right-handed pitching in the second half. So I like the over 8. I like the Red Sox on the money line as well. And hopefully we can cash all of those tickets. And if not, we'll have a Yankee future alive into the divisional round.
Listen, it's a miracle that the Yankees got into the playoffs. It's a miracle that we get to see a classic Yankees-Red Sox game in October, in the fall, in the playoffs. It's every sports fan's dream, harkening back to those days of the early aughts. Let's get to our next segment. We call it Bang, Bang, Bet. Our contestants, we're going to spin the wheel. It will land on a player prop. They have to give us an opinion on what that prop is. Producer extraordinaire, Red Sox superfan, Christina Ventura, please spin the wheel. Collin Wilson, you will be up first, and it lands on Rafael Devers. Home run, yes or no?
Well, speaking of home runs, I'll just do a tip of the cap to Sean for hitting the Vlad most home runs, because Salvador Perez decided to chill out and let him have a little piece of that ticket. But, little thing for the 2015 World Series, I got to get my shots in on Sean. Tonight, I'm going to take Devers over a half. It's over a half on the betting line. But yes, he will hit a home run at plus 350. Cole has a 4-seam fastball and a slider. Sean talked about the pitch arsenal that gets thrown by the Yankees a lot and how much the Red Sox hitters love it. Well, particularly with Rafael Devers, the 2 best pitches he loves to hit are the 4-seam fastball and the slider, which Cole throws around 70% of the time. And, I mentioned Cole's troubles in Fenway Park, particularly that last game on September 24th. Devers is one of the ones that went yard in that game, had a 3-run bomb Lifetime Beavers, I could tell you that he's had 21 at bats. He's got some whiffs in there, some strikeouts, but he does have 3 bombs, and they all have come in this season. Something clicked for him in 2021 against Garrett Cole's Arsenal. And so I expect him at a nice number of plus 350 to get a home run tonight. In a game we expect runs.
In the movie version of this story, Devers steps up to the plate, looks to the camera, says, "Happy birthday, Sean," and then smacks a homer over the green monster, and you cash your ticket.
That would be perfect. It'd be even better if it was Salvador Perez. That's who the boys love. So,
all right. Well, listen, I can't create an entire mythical world for everybody. Okay. I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
we'll take it.
BJ Cunningham, you're next on the board. Christina Ventura, let's please spin the wheel. BJ, for you, it will land on Aaron Judge, total bases, over, under 1.5. What do you got?
I'm going to go over 1.5 bases at plus 110. Aaron Judge probably has the best matchup of any Yankee hitter tonight. Hits right-handed pitching really well, 375 weighted on base average and 45 extra base hits this season. He has positive run values against all 5 of Eovaldi's pitches, including a 355 expected batting average, 506 expected weighted on base average, and a 70.3% hard hit percentage against fastballs, which Eovaldi goes to 42.3% of the time. He has good history against Eovaldi, 6 hits and 11 at-bats, including a double and a home run. And he's just been incredibly hot in the month of September, 15 extra base hits and a 361 weighted on base average. So great matchup for Aaron Judge tonight. And I think you're getting good value at plus money for over 1.5 bases.
I'm sensing a theme so far that speaks to you guys liking these pitchers getting knocked out early and a lot of runs being scored. Let's see if it continues. Christina, let's spin the wheel for the maestro of future, Sean Zerillo. It will land on Enrique Hernandez, over under 1.5 total bases.
Yeah, going with the over here, Chad. I think you spotted the correlation quickly. Colin and I see runs all over this game. We're all betting on offensive props. Normally we're on strikeout totals. I think it also speaks to the fact that it's really difficult to project strikeout totals in a game where you don't know how long the pitchers are going to be in. Season-long stats are kind of irrelevant. But as far as Kike Hernandez goes, maybe the most valuable signing of the last offseason, signed him for $7 million a year over 2 years, more than $30 million in surplus value on that contract this year. Have him for another year as well. Great defender, but he's really improved as an offensive player. Now, typically he's better splits in his career both this season and going backwards against lefties and against righties. But he has hit Garrett Cole pretty well in a limited sample, obviously very limited sample, just over 10 at-bats, 10 plate appearances. But 3 extra base hits, and what I like most is 3 walks against no strikeouts. So he clearly sees the ball at least decently well against Cole. Kike's averaged 1.7 bases in his games played this year. And moreover, he is 12th amongst qualified hitters in at-bats, or I should say plate appearances per game. So sometimes even taking a lesser player, if they're going to get more volume, that is what you want in the counting stats game of baseball. So give me the Kike over 1.5. at plus money. Our props guy, Tanner McGrath, also on this prop independently tonight. So I'm really liking this prop with Kike.
Yeah, it feels like all you guys are saying, and Colin, start with you, BJ next. Like, I'm going off script a little bit here. Everyone just seems to think that these pitchers are going to get shelled. Colin.
Well, recent history suggests that they will. I mean, these two teams are extremely familiar with each other. These lineups are extremely familiar with the starters and with the bullpen. They know what's being thrown. But when you go into the advanced analytics and see what the actual pitches that are being thrown, the hitters, it's like their favorite pitch. I mean, we go back to Major League Baseball, right? The movie, Serrano could not hit a curveball. He couldn't hit anything off speed. He loves fastballs. And these Red Sox and Yankees hitters, they know what the other pitchers have, and it just kind of fits with what they want to do.
BJ, anything to counter what Colin is saying, or are you completely thinking, oh yeah, this is going to be high scoring?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be high scoring, especially since both these teams absolutely crush fastballs. I mean, Red Sox offensively have been the best team in terms of weighted on base average of anybody left in the postseason since the trade deadline. And the Yankees have steadily improved over that time as well. They obviously have incredible hitters in their lineup who have just hit Eovaldi for 7 earned runs a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I totally agree with Colin that this is probably going to turn into a slugfest. It's going to be a little chilly in Boston, only 53 degrees, but I still think we're going to see a lot of runs early on and all throughout the night, especially with how bad Boston's bullpen has been this season.
Colin, did you make up a word, advanced analytics?
Advanced analytics.
Did you make that up? Did you conjugate those words?
Over in another vertical, I make up called college football. I make up all kinds of words that people don't understand. So we'll roll with it.
Well, thanks for bringing it over to baseball too. All right. In our last segment, we are going to fade the public. Who's the public? That's you. Who's the public? I made up a word right there. Public. Who's the public? That's you. We're fading you because you don't know nothing. Or right now, do you? We asked, of the 4 teams in the wild card, which one is most likely to win the World Series? Kind of a leading question. We know what the answer may be, but the truth is, as I said off the top of the show, 4 times since 2012, the new wild card format, teams from the wild card have gotten the World Series. 3 times they've won it. The public, between the Dodgers, the Cardinals, the Yankees, and the Red Sox, 46% says the Dodgers. Not a surprise. The Dodgers probably have the most liability. The sports books have the most liability on the Dodgers and their future tickets to win the World Series. Colin, are you with or against the public?
Listen, I'm with the public, and I am not a guy that likes to be square. Generally, I'm trying to look for value in a delta between public perception and what numbers actually are. I'm the kind of guy that, does not typically look to just bet against Kansas football because Kansas football stinks. But sometimes there's just too much value in betting against, sometimes the public is right. Kansas football going against them is one of them. Urban Meyer is an NFL coach is another one. The Dodgers in this scenario, the public likes them, and they're going up against the St. Louis team. We don't know what's left in the tank for these guys. Nonetheless, I don't think they have the talent. There's a huge talent gap here too. And, the Rays and the Brewers are my picks to make the World Series. So if the Dodgers even win this, they'd have to make their way through the Giants and then the Brewers. But directly, anybody from Boston or the Yankees that wins this is going to face the Rays, a team that I think is going to go into the World Series and should win it. I'll lay the series price with Tampa. So I don't see a path for any of these wild card teams. Dodgers have the best chance to beat the Giants. I just don't think St. Louis has enough in the tank. And I don't think either of the teams on the AL side are beating the Rays. So, there's a reason the Cardinals are 20-1. So I'm going to go square out here. I'm going to say the Dodgers have the best chance. BJ, will you square this square?
Absolutely. The Dodgers are the World Series favorites, and they're going to be favored in every single series throughout the postseason if they get past the Cardinals. And, they're going to have a really tough matchup against the Giants in the NLDS. But if they get past the Giants, they're going to be significant favorites over the Brewers or the Braves and have significant advantages in the bullpen and offensively. And the Red Sox and the Yankees just have a gauntlet trying to get through the AL. I do like the Red Sox at 18-1 to win the World Series, but they have a lot of problems in their bullpen, especially with the Yankees. Once you get past Garrett Cole and their starting rotation, there's a lot of question marks. And as for the Cardinals, I think the luck box is going to end on Wednesday night in Los Angeles. Even if they do get past the Dodgers, the Giants have significant advantages offensively in the starting rotation and in the bullpen over St. Louis. So there's a reason the Dodgers are the World Series favorites, and they are the most likely to actually get to the World Series out of these 4 wildcard teams.
Sean Zerillo, will you cube this square?
Yeah, just purely based on math, the fact that the Dodgers are the World Series favorites, even having to play an additional round, the bottom 3 teams in my World Series odds right now are the other 3 wildcard teams. So it shows you the likelihood that the Dodgers end up winning their series if they do advance out of the single elimination game. That said, the AL matchup is more interesting to me because I do give the Red Sox a better chance of upsetting the Rays than I would the Yankees. That surprises me because I make the Yankees the better team, but with the way the pitching matchups line up, since Garrett Cole is going to have to go in the wild card game, we'll only be able to go once in that divisional series. Give the Red Sox a slighter better chance of maybe advancing to the World Series than I would the Yankees, but definitely has to be the Dodgers if we're looking at overall.
All right. Everyone likes the Dodgers to come out of the wild card round and be the most likely team to win the World Series. Let's recap all of our bets. Colin, you like the Red Sox, Yankees first 5 over tonight. You like Rafael Devers to hit a home run. And of the teams in the wild card, which one is the most likely to win the World Series? You like the Los Angeles Dodgers. BJ, you like the Dodgers in the first 5 tomorrow night. You like Aaron Judge, over 1.5 total bases. You also like the Dodgers to come out of the wild card and win the World Series of the wild card teams. Sean Zerillo, you like the Red Sox Yankees over 8 total runs. You like Enrique Hernandez over 1.5 total bases. You too are on the Dodgers. Let's wish Sean Wilson a happy birthday, and I hope he enjoys his Chipotle and baseball. Let's wish BJ Cunningham, who is turning twice Sean Wilson's age, a happy birthday. He also will be eating Chipotle and watching baseball. Not much changes when you get older, folks. Enjoy the games tonight. Good luck tomorrow night. We will see you next week at Action Network HQ. Payoff Pitch presented by DraftKings. Good luck.